look as if he's just come straight away for the Green Brigade.
Aye, we'd have meeting at 6:30, mate.
Yes, and we're back. It's Celtic Unrestricted View. My name is Ryan Clifford, and joining me tonight in a freezing cold Monday night is JP. JP, how you doing, mate?
Aye, not too bad, mate. How's yourself?
Smiling, mate. It's -9. We're happy. We're positive once again. Glad to have you smiling as well, mate. Obviously, Celtic Cruise in Dundee, mate. Mcgregor Milestone, fantastic captain. Lots to talk about, mate. We'll try and no mention VR too much, but again, it's popped up, so as usual, we need to have a wee mention of it, mate. But overall, mate, how are you? How's your weekend? And I hope you're not too cold there, mate.
No, as you can see, mate, I've got the hoodie on again due to it being -9. There's a bit of an energy crisis going on at the moment, so I'm kind of reluctant now and again to put the heating on. So because of the temperature in Glasgow at the moment, I've got to wear hoodies these days. So yeah, can't wait till the hot weather comes in, mate, and then that way we can cut about my mankinis and that again. I don't know if that's a pretty sight for some, right enough, but no, I'm looking forward to that. But aye, overall, mate, I was very happy. Weekend kind of just flew in, if I'm honest. Felt as if we got to Friday, and then before you know it, this is Monday night now, and like I says, the days are just disappearing. It's hard to believe. I can remember sitting in Hogmanay with my can of iron brew watching Jules Holland, and then all of a sudden it's nearly February. So aye, it's flying in, mate. But that's flying in, and so's the goals for Celtic, mate. So we're all happy. But aye, overall, mate, the weekend was fast, but it was good. Got to spend some time with the family and that. So it was good. What about yourself, mate? What did you get up to the weekend?
My weekend off this weekend, mate. So aye, quiet. I wasn't on the devil juice this weekend, mate. So it was all good. Fresh a daisy, and then obviously Celtic back the weekend, mate. It's always good when Celtic are playing. So I think we can kick off as well, mate. We obviously McGregor, a big milestone for the captain as well. Considering obviously where we were a wee while ago, didn't know who the captain was going to be. A few, including myself, wasn't sure about McGregor. I was kind of saying Julian and all that, and you weren't really sure who was going to come in as manager to start off with, and then who would be the captain. Obviously, because let's be fair, anybody who follows Scott Brown, it's always going to be a hard task to follow the way he was as a person, as a player, and as a captain. Not just for Celtic, but for Scotland as well. Loads of things McGregor's done to be probably suited to that role, but we didn't really realise it until he is the captain now, and the way he's been the last just less than 18 months or so, roughly, with Celtic, mate. He's been brilliant, not just a player, but as the main man on the park. We all know, mate, captains really are like certain managers when they're on the park, because the manager really can't say too much outside of the park, and if you've got 60,000 fans, it's very hard to get your message across. But when you've got a guy like McGregor on the park, divvying out his duties, he's brilliant, mate, and getting to the games he's got to for a club like Celtic, mate. It's very, very... For me, it's very, very incredible, mate. A guy that's still playing at the top level. I know he's not old, but to continually play the amount of games he plays every season, he's always there week in, week out. If he's a wee injury, he's not, I'm playing. I need to play. For me, mate, it's incredible for what he's done for Celtic so far. The amount of games he's played, he plays at 60 odd games a season. He could probably still play another 400 and probably still not retire. He's that fit, he's that athletic, and the mindset, a drive, desire, winning. And for me, mate, not just as a player, as a captain, he's been phenomenal.
Aye, no, it's been remarkable, mate. Obviously, he came in under Ronnie Delia, and obviously he was given his opportunity. I think the season before that, he was in loan to Notts County, wasn't he? Where he teamed up with Jack Grealish. Obviously, he's a boy as well, who was on loan to them as well. And no, ever since he's come in, he's kind of not looked back. He's played a couple of different positions before he's kind of made that number 6 role his own. He's played a lot of great players as well, which has helped him through the way, and he's always shown that kind of leadership skills. I know what you were saying a minute ago in terms of we weren't thinking that he was a shoe-in to be your direct captain. We just at the time we probably didn't see it the way we do now. But no, captains are worth their weight in gold, mate, because they make a manager's job a lot easier. They're on the dressing room, so they're the kind of main. They're the main focal point in the dressing room, and they're a kind of go-between with the team and the manager. So normally, if there's any issues, the manager will go to the captain, and he'll speak to the captain. But the captain, Faye McGregor's been made the captain. McGregor's identified guys like Joe Hart, boys like Carter Vickers, guys like Greg Taylor. There's guys around about him that are all kind of leaders in that dressing room as well. So it kind of makes his job a bit easier if he's got other guys. Because let's face it, he was out for a period of time there where he missed half the Champions League for us, and we had to rely on, like, say, Greg Taylor and Carter Vickers. They had a wee shot at the captaincy when he was in his absence. So they're the next kind of go-to guys, if you ask me, in terms of leadership. But he shows leadership both on the pitch with his performance levels, Ryan, and off the pitch. You see him even at the warm-ups. He's talking to the team. You've seen the documentary where he's in the dressing room. Before even Ange has a word with him, he's talking to them. He's making sure they're all focused. And that's what you want. He's probably a different type of captain for Bruni. And in my opinion, Bruni's probably the most successful Celtic captain there's been, in terms of if you look at his silverware count, his medals, the trophies he's won, things that he's achieved as a player, the levels he played at. So there's no money that's up there like that. I know people are the older guys will probably say, like, say, Billy McNeil, etc. And, obviously he was part of the pioneers that won the main one, the big one, as they call it. But Scott Brown achieved loads as a Celtic captain. When he had other opportunities, he could have moved on and went elsewhere. McGregor's the same. He's probably no doubt behind the scenes. We've probably not heard it because it's not really amounted to anything, but I don't doubt for a minute, mate, with the talent that boy's got, that he's been sought after. The clubs have probably come in and maybe chapped the door and found out, is he available, is he this, is he that. He's dedicated himself to the cause, so he's now, in my opinion, he'll probably see his career out at Celtic, unless something monumental happens, i.e. Celtic offered like astronomical amounts of money for him, or he potentially sees the twilight years of his career somewhere else, which is, in my opinion, Ryan, it's highly doubtful. But a remarkable achievement, mate, to have played 400 games. I actually think that 400 games just the last 2 seasons alone. You said yourself there, it's, he plays some amount of football for club and country. He's very seldom is he injured. It probably will take its toll on him as he gets older, because there's only so long you can sustain that with the training levels and everything else in the recovery period between games. I mean, sometimes Celtic play three games within about an 8-day period, so it's remarkable, mate. It's hats off to him as well. And as Anne says, he's a total pleasure to be in the dressing room, mate, which is, I think that's a big compliment in itself, Ryan, for the manager, when he's saying that he's honoured to share a dressing room with him. So that tells you all you need to know about the situation, mate.
I think in terms of McGregor, mate, it's not just him as a captain as well. I think it's, like you say, mate, for me, he's the best player in Scotland, without a shadow of a doubt. There's no question, in my opinion. Nobody will change my mind on that. We've all got different opinions on players and managers and whatever else. We've all got different opinions. That's why we like football. But in terms of me, mate, I just can't see how anybody can really debate right now how he's no the best midfielder, at least anyway. Because it's similar to when Scott Brown was at the team. That's when you gauged how good Scott Brown really was. Obviously, when guys got older, you can't see it as much as obviously Scott Brown was getting older. And obviously, when that season happened, Scott Brown was at the latter years of his career. But McGregor's probably at his peak, the way he's playing. He's effortless, mate, in my opinion. It's absolutely effortless. There's nobody in Scotland that does what he does. People might claim there's others, but if obviously that's for your other side of the city and other teams in Scotland. But for me, he's superb, mate, and he's only going to get better as a captain. And probably, like you says, in terms of what he's won at Celtic, I think is it 17 trophies? I think he's won something like that at Celtic.
I think it's 18. 18. Run about there anyway.
It's something mad, mate. It's incredible. And he's still got at least 4 or 5 years probably at the top of Celtic to win trophies. He's challenging 3 trophies every year, so he's got a chance of winning 3 every year. It's mental, like you say. Some guys leave Celtic and they kind of regret it once they stop winning the trophies, they stop getting the accolades, they stop getting the fans going, "Oh, we love you," and people might think, money, but trophies you can get money elsewhere, you can go different jobs, but you can't replace trophies. Do you know what I mean? And I think some guys now when they come to Celtic, like Joe Hart even said it, in a way I wish I came here sooner, because it's amazing. I love it here, and the fans are took to me. I'm settled here, and it's a massive club. And to be a captain, I think as well, the last bit on him, JP, I think to be a captain of Celtic, the fact he's been a player, that's already amazing. To play at this level and to play with Celtic week in, week out, the mentality, the drive and the discipline, and to be that level every week, like you say, on the park and off the park, nutrition, fitness, stay away from the papers, your nightclubs, etc. To keep doing that, but then to do it as a captain, it's another responsibility as well. And like you say, mate, he's never in the papers. He's never doing silly interviews. He's never doing headlines. And some other side of the city, they're doing headlines every day, and we just keep doing what we're doing, and that's because you've got guys like Ange and guys like him at the helm.
Yeah, definitely. We comment here for YouTube, mate. It's from Northampton Tim. What a name that is, by the way. Evening, boys. Happy Monday. Hail, hail. Hail, hail, mate.
Good evening.
Cheers for tuning in. Another wee one for Plunge. Evening, Stan and Ollie. I've always fancied ourselves as 2 Ronnies, mate. No Stan and Ollie. But we'll leave that up for debate. That'd be an interesting topic between the listeners to see what kind of names that they could come up with a double act. I think there's some family members have already called us Ant and Deck and stuff like that as well. So
that's cause we're handsome, mate. Know what I mean?
They were told very swiftly that's plenty. You moved on for that one. What amazes me, Ryan, is if you look through the history of Celtic, all the captains we've had, mate, they've all been Scottish. All the great captains. You look at your Billy McNeil's, then there was Roy Aitken. Then you had guys like Paul McStay, Tom Boyd, Paul Lambert. They're all Scottish, you know. Every one of them were all Scottish. Then modern day, Jackie McNamara was captain of Celtic before. Kieran Tierney's captained as Callum McGregor now, Scott Brown. So they've all been Scottish based. 1 or 2 have had wee shots here and there. I think Larson had it for a game or 2. I'm sure. I think Lustig might have been Scott Brown's vice captain when he was there as well, because I've seen the 2 of them lift the trophy together. They've lifted that many together. I actually lost count after 5, so I only kept count to 5. Not that I can't only, by the way, for any of the listeners that are watching us or anything, I can't only just count to 5, by the way. Like some would probably lead you to believe I can count beyond 5. I'm moving up in the world now, so as you say. But I lost count after 5 in terms of the trophies that Scott Brown and Mikael Lustig lifted together, which was remarkable in itself because they won 12 trophies in the bounce, which was phenomenal. There's another one, right? James has come in with Jack and Victor. Gonna know that. I would say how, but that's a cliche, James, to be fair. Sorry, Ryan, what were you going to say?
That's the full thing, Naggard. No, but I agree with you in terms of what you're saying there about the Scottish guys, mate. I think I'm not going to, obviously, because McGregor's a captain at the moment, so you can't really think about anybody else. But you'd like to think it would be somebody Scottish, somebody that knows Celtic, and anybody can come in and get the club. You've seen Big Gens leaving, and you've seen all his posts. I know we can all write good words and we can all post nice videos, but you can just sense with him, he was gutted to leave. I think it's due to, I don't think it's, I know there was...
I think it's down to family.
I was going to say that. There's no been a person at the club saying this is why he's left, and people are trying to maybe say it's game time. I don't think it's game time. I think because before he got a wee bit injury, he was playing. So it wasn't like he wasn't no playing. I think it's definitely today. We've heard about his missus apparently is wanting back to Germany, etc., for their wee baby, which is fair enough. Like we've said, mate, sometimes family, every time your family life comes before your football life.
Yep,
so
definitely.
If that's what you've got to do, it's what you've got to do. And we all know that in terms of when players move to different countries, they've got to have a lot of things to do with speak to their family. Do we do this? Can we do this? And so I think it's definitely maybe that's one of the reasons why he's left. I personally don't think it's due to no getting a game, because before even Kobayashi came in and even Starfelt was still in the squad fit, he was still in and out of the team. So I don't think it's to do with that. It might be, but from my opinion, I think it's maybe due to maybe personal reasons. But it just shows you when guys they leave here, that how the club actually is. It leaves a dent on them in a way. Like, didn't he leave? Or it was bigger than I thought. And similar to maybe when McGregor leaves, this is, I think, because he's still here in the present, he's still captaining us, he's still leading us to trophies and winning games. That's when you might think, when he does leave, no really a lot of Celtic fans, but everybody else outside of Scotland, well, Celtic, what a player he was, what a captain he was. He was amazing for Scotland as well, and I've always said it, mate, as much as Andy Robertson's a world-class left back, McGregor, in my opinion, should be the captain. But that's another day.
Of Scotland?
Aye, 100%. My opinion.
100%.
But I think, for me, mate, having somebody who's Scottish probably is the best way to go. I don't think, again, I find it hard. It'd be a bit weird, I think, of having a foreign guy, the captain of your club, who's maybe just came. I think it's got to be somebody that kind of knows Celtic. And let's be fair, mate, the guy doesn't have to know Celtic. He's been here since all his days, basically. Do you know what I mean? So you can't even get away with that. And I thought yesterday, going to the game yesterday, mate. Again, nothing flashy from him, but he makes everything tick. Like you say, you see him in the warm up, and you just know he gets the guys up for the game. We all know at that level you shouldn't need to be up for it anyway. But you've seen with Mick Kennedy's team talk, sometimes a wee team talk does instill a bit of belief in you. Like, switch on now, we can do this. And a wee jag sometimes can get you going. And this is, we all know, the huddle. It's famous for it. What stays in the huddle, what stays in the huddle, stays in the huddle. That obviously goes on at the park, and you can see. I can always remember a game, I think Scott Brown, he done it against Rangers. I'm sure it was at Celtic Park, and it was like, we don't lose this game. You've seen him, and do you know what I mean? It's things like that. Do you know what I mean? So for me, McGregor, mate, even yesterday, it was effortless. Only yesterday, mate. What was your lasting impression of the game? And obviously, 2-0, mate, but I think it could have been a lot more. Wee bit frustrating, probably the first half, but once we get the goal, mate, it was just about game done.
Well, it was nothing like you said yourself, Ryan. It wasn't anything flashy. I thought we were pretty comfortable. We were never in any sort of serious doubt or, any serious trouble whatsoever. No, I thought we were really comfortable. Like I say, first half, we had a few chances. The goalkeeper pulled off a couple of good saves. Again, wasn't really anything to write home about, but second half I thought we were a lot better. Our tempo probably went up a level the second half, which allowed us then to, get the ball moving a bit quicker, start getting in behind, playing through. You seen Jota starting to move infield. He wasn't maybe doing that as much in the first half. He'd 1 or 2 chances, but no, as I say, pretty comfortable. We were never in any doubt whatsoever of, like I says, like dropping points or losing the game or nothing like that. So no, but overall, I was happy, Ryan. Like we kind of played. We played well enough. We kept the ball for large spells of the game, and it kind of you seen it frustrated Dundee United because I think they thought that they could off the ball, they could stay compact and make it a bit difficult for us, and make it a bit kind of scrappy, and it just didn't go. It just didn't go to their. It didn't work to their favour. So, no, as I say, but overall, mate, I was happy. 2-0 victory. It's the 5th game in a row now. We've not conceded a goal. So, we're on a good run at the moment, mate, and a decent bit of momentum. When you don't concede goals and you're playing a regular, like, a set back 4, and obviously we Oxo came back into the team yesterday. It was his first game out of 4. He's missed 4 games. No, overall, mate, I thought we done well enough to win the game, and we done enough to get the 3 points. But there was wee spells of the game where we were probably made to work a bit more. We to work our rotations a bit more and get the ball moving a bit quicker, especially in the second half. But overall, mate, I thought we were really comfortable. What about yourself?
I think roughly the same, mate. I thought the first half was a bit frustrating, a wee bit laboured, but I thought that was due to United the way they were playing. Like you say, we're trying to make it compact and we couldn't play the game that we obviously know we can. I agree with you in terms of the way the transitions were going in the game. It was a bit of frustration. We weren't our fluent self in the first half, but I think the second half, like you said, mate, once we get the goal, it kind of just made United sit back. They didn't really try and go forward. To be fair, I can't really remember anything United really had, to be fair. They had the odd wee sniff in the box and stuff, but nothing to cause us major issues. Like you says, recent weeks we were talking about, obviously, about conceding too much in the league, but that's 5 now, like you says, without a goal. Can't really complain at that. Again, I thought a few times Joe Hart came out and punched the ball away and stuff, and I thought he was quite sharp off his line yesterday again. Sometimes he's been a bit fine with not doing that often the last few weeks, but I'm the same as you, mate. I really think it was a wee bit workmanlike, but didn't they come out of second gear again, in my opinion. Again, I don't think, for me, mate, it's a scary thing. People might think that I'm too biased or I'm maybe talking my team up too much here, but maybe give or take 2 or 3 games this season, mate, we've been really good. Apart from that, we've just been workmanlike, just getting the job done, no playing particularly well, but still easily beating other teams. The difference is between us and Rangers, they're really playing no well, and they're just winning. They're scraping by teams now. But other teams are getting chances. I'm not going to get into all the red cards and whatever VAR stuff, because that's their game. But other things are impacting how they're winning games. Fair enough, they're winning games, but we're winning games easily, in my opinion. We're not having to totally come out of second gear. we're not having to make changes all the time to try and change tactics to get a goal. And I thought it just shows you well, mate. You've got about, I think it was roughly was about £10 million or something roughly come off the bench yesterday. That's the quality we've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys like Tumbo and Awatas on the bench, Oz coming on. Tumbo and O are like £5 million alone, roughly. Do you know what I mean? That's you're bringing that off the bench. That's the quality you've got, mate. It's frightening. For me, again, I've said it before, mate. The only threat to Celtic is Celtic. The amount of players we've got at our disposal. You find it very hard, mate, how teams are going to beat us. Yesterday, again, we weren't very good in terms of the first half. Well, the play very good's been harsh, but we weren't our usual self. But then as soon as you get a goal, it's amazing how that jags you, doesn't it? As soon as you get a goal, it lifts the full team and it's just like, right, kick on now. But before that, you're thinking, right, get a goal here. But as soon as that goal comes, I don't want to say game's a bogey, but it just about was because United just detracted back and they weren't really going forward.
No, well, that was it. Like I says, it was they set up obviously to try and contain us, and when obviously in the first half, our passages of play, some of our play was breaking down because of overcrowding in their sort of 18-yard box. A lot of balls were having to get passed wide, but our wingers then weren't coming in the field often enough for me in terms of the way when we play invertedly. They weren't getting in field, so they were getting kind of caught up whether they go in an overlap or they stand their man up and go to the byline and try and get a crossover. I think Jota hit a few crosses that were overhit in the first half. Abada laid a couple of crosses as well, but they were short and weren't quite reaching getting by the first man. So I thought in the second half, the whole tempo of the team changed. So it was all, I don't want to say laboured in the first half, but it was more than 1-2 touches before we were releasing the ball per player. Whereas the second half, it was all 1 and 2 touches and the ball was away. And it was getting zipped about in the second half. Whereas the first half, it was a bit more slower, a bit more, there was a lot more passing, probably sidewards and keeping the ball, but no really penetrating with it too much. Whereas the second half, you seen them breaking lines and, Jota straight away on the front foot, cutting inside. I mean, I think the second half had kicked off and he'd a shot at goal straight away within seconds. It was a bit of this, like, similar. And by the way, Kyogo, that one he puts through to Kyogo after 30 seconds, he scores that. It's a totally different game in the first half as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the game then opens up because then their game plan goes to pot. And they've got to open up to try and either get back into the game or at least salvage some sort of a draw if they can. So I kind of get what you're saying, mate, but Ryan, like I says, mate, there was no danger there whatsoever, mate. There was none whatsoever. We were in no danger of dropping points yesterday. But there was no threat. There was apart from Fletcher's looking header over onto the roof of the net. There was nothing they done. I think Fletcher had had a half volley in the first half, no, the second half, sorry, as well, but it went straight to Joe Hart. Mm-hmm. We know a great deal of power, and I don't know if he thinks Carter Vickers is, either ready to make contact with him or hitting the ball away. So, but no, I don't think. I don't think there was certainly no great threat from the opposition there to cause any sort of upset yesterday, mate. And I think it's probably one of the most comfortable games without us even getting out of first gear properly for us that I can remember in a long time. And to go up there and win the game so comfortably 2-0 tells you more about the quality of your team than it does anything else, in my opinion, right?
You can talk about the quality of in our team. Even guys in the bench that could have started the game. This is where we are. The other team in Scotland's in my opinion, got the capabilities to do that in terms of finances, in terms of squad depth. They've just not got it. In my opinion, JP, I'll keep saying it. I'll keep saying it as the season goes. There's only one team to beat in this league, and it's us. We're the only team that will beat ourselves. We've got too much quality. We've got the best manager in the league. In my opinion, people might have gave Chris Sutton a wee bit of a stick for his comments about how Ange is obviously going to have his suitors. But Chris Sutton is just telling the truth. He's no telling Ange to leave Celtic. He's no telling Celtic fans he's away. He's just saying because how well he's doing, if he's not getting looked at by other teams, then they're doing their job wrong, in my opinion. If Ange isn't getting suitors for all these big clubs, then their CEOs or chairmen are doing their job wrong. You've got to be looking at all the best talent. And for me, Ange, out with some of the top leagues, he's definitely one of the best managers out there. It took us for him to come to us to realise this, because at the time, like he says, we didn't have a clue who he was. Well, you've heard these names out Australia, but you never knew really what he'd done in his background and just the way he's got us playing, mate. And like you say, considering we weren't really playing well in the first half and at the second half, and you've walked out there thinking, do you know what, I was actually quite comfortable. But at the first half, you wouldn't have thought that if they'd been comfortable into the second half, because you're thinking, right, they're going to come out the second half here. They've got to try and attack us. They're at home. They've got to try and do something. And like you say, within the first 5 or 10 minutes of the second half, it was kind of easy shooting away, mate, if we get the first goal. And to be fair, what a goal it was, by the way. What a goal it was. I didn't think I seen a still photo of Jota doing that. I'm thinking, how the hell do you get that in there? Because it was like his head was off the back. And it was like his body was half foot. It was
aye.
But it was a brilliant ball on as well. For Mick Johnson as well. So but on the goal, JP, again that's just typical of Celtic, mate. The way we play, the ball into the box, and there's always somebody back stick. If it's Jota or Abada, that's the way we're playing at the moment. There's always somebody in space in the box, and let's be fair, you can't have a good finish, mate. It was a very good finish.
No, definitely. I mean, like I say, the passage of play, the lead up to obviously the ball down the wing to Moy, the run Moy makes is so underrated, mate, in my opinion. Like he drags the boy away with him to allow the ball to come through the centre and then go wide, but like I say, Ryan, that all happened at pace. See, we watch it back, it was like 1 and 2 part. It was like 10, 15 seconds and we were up the field. It started off 18-yard box, that passage. So that's what I mean about the tempo rising in the second half, because it was as if they were told, look, we need to rise the tempo and we need to start moving the ball a bit quicker, and also to get to get it going. So, but the cross, I mean, not only the cross is a belter, it takes everybody out of the game, including the goalkeeper. And the only one that doesn't take his eye off, it's Jota. Now, he nearly ended up decapitating himself because of the way he runs towards the ball. And he just, I don't know how, the angle he headers at, I'm like, it's so underrated, that goal. And then obviously the penalty that we got, I personally do not know what, in God's name, the young lad's doing. He's on a yellow card, first and foremost. He then does that. He puts his team, he lets his teammates down, puts his team under pressure. It's bearing in mind it's 1-0, Celtic have already scored. So this is a couple of moments after that. The ball goes for a corner. He must know the ref's going to have a look at that, because 4 or 5 of the Celtic boys are all screaming at Don Robertson, who actually, by the way, I actually thought he had a great game yesterday. People can say what they like, right? And my opinion is, I've said this to you, you know my thoughts. I actually think he's one of the best refs we've got, to be honest. I know he had a bit of a shaky start and he was a bit naive when he gave away a penalty against Celtic at Ross County when Sviatchenko was stoning at Parkhead cross away for the boy. The boy's up in Dingwall and he's at Parkhead Crow. That was the distance between the two of them, and the boy fell and he gave a penalty. But he's came a long way since then, and I think he is one of the best. And I know, obviously, this is up for debate, obviously, in terms of referees' performance levels, etc. But I do think he's one of the better refs we've got. He's refereed a few Celtic games now, and each one I've even had conversations with my dad about this, and I said, he's done a good game there. I actually think he's only ever done one Glasgow derby. And if I remember right, he did. We spoke about it. He had a good game. It was, he let a lot go. In the game, if I remember back, and he tried to let it flow as as a kind of an eye catcher for people. It was a showcase game, and he kind of let it go. And he's not quick to jump in and make decisions. You seen him right away. He's in total control at all times. He's telling the players, they're screaming at him. He's going, hold on a minute, we'll check it. That's what they're doing now. I think he's one of the ones that gives a clear message to the player. A lot of them will just not say anything to the player and they'll just leave him guessing as if what's going on. Whereas he tells them, look, we're checking it, so calm down, stop screaming at me and settle down. And he's no quick to just book people for the sake of booking people just because of the shout, either with the crowd or with other players. That's just my opinion. Everybody's got their opinions. Of probably, guys will probably say, no, he's terrible, or he's this, or he's that, or, but I think he is one of the better refs we've actually got. Not that we've got money, but I do think he's one of the better. I know you're laughing, Ryan, but I mean, we're obviously going to touch on that tonight, I'm assuming, mate, because some of the referee performances this season have been absolutely shambolic. Because I think a lot of it's down to guesswork. It's always around type of guesses, and but no, I thought, but the young lad Freeman to do that when he's on a booking puts himself in danger, puts then his teammates under pressure, because you think to yourself, 1-0, there's a chance we could maybe get a counter attack or maybe a corner. Big Fletcher's still on, so he might go on the end of something. But at 2-0, Ryan, when you're up against that Celtic team, mate, who, like I says, mate, earlier on, haven't even got out of first gear or second gear all season, in my opinion, let alone yesterday. But to give them the opportunity to then have a penalty to go 2-0 against you, that's you're climbing Everest after that, mate, because that goal goes in, the penalty goes in, Moy scores a penalty, and you've took the game away from Dundee United. There is no way Dundee United are coming back into that after that. It just deflates the whole team. You could see the body language of some of them. I know the boy Levitt. Was it Levitt? No, the boy Harks. I know he wasn't too chuffed at all. Seeing his face, he was raging. So was Fletch. I think Big Fletcher was raging as well. Because that's criminal. To do that, and then you know there's a technology now that's going to go back and look at that. So in my opinion, mate, to do that is absolutely criminal. And like I says, you then give the champions a free hit at penalty. And you've got a guy who knows how to take a penalty, and Aaron Moy there that obviously he's took a few now and he's scored every one of them so far. So so you've then allowed the team to then take the game away from you and then sit comfortably on the lead. Whereas you then, if you have any aspirations of trying to do anything, you then need to chase a game. And not only do you need one, but you need 2 goals. So that's criminal in my opinion, right?
Oh, definitely. But what I didn't get about that was, I know there's this double jeopardy thing that they've changed the rules. If you get a penalty, etc., then you don't get a red card or booked. But it's a...
Bernabei gets booked at Parkhead, same thing.
So he's on a yellow card. Surely he's going to be sent off. Listen, I'm not wanting guys sent off. I'm not wanting guys not play football.
No, but if you're going with that, then
surely it's a set yellow card. Surely.
Mm-hmm.
Bernabei or I'm sure O'Reilly get booked as well for it, did they know? At Celtic Park.
I'm not sure. I know obviously that penalty was given, but I don't think he got a yellow card. I'm not.
Surely,
you need to look back. If him that's watching us can elaborate a bit more on that. Did Mattarelli get booked for?
I know Bernabei did.
For that handball that was given that ridiculous handball that was given against him at Celtic Park.
The referee's made a mistake on that because see what annoyed me yesterday. I know I thought I didn't think the referee was terrible, but I didn't think he had the best games. I thought some decisions he made was laughable. That was included. He's seen that at face value. He's looking at that, and he couldn't decide if that's a book or no. What I don't get with this VAR is JP, right? The referees are on the park. It's their job. James says aye. He got booked for it, right? So that's cheers, James. So how is Hero getting booked for it? It's, in my opinion, it's clear as day. He's on board it. He's wearing like that. He knew what he'd done. It's a penalty. Set yellow card. It should be off. It's easy for us to sit behind a TV on TV or at the games. Aye, right. This should be this. But see when you actually look at it again. It's clear as day. He's gave a penalty, right? He's gave a penalty, but then they're telling me to go and check VAR. You're the referee. You've gave us a penalty. You're on the park. So why do you need to go and check it again when it's clear as day? I thought it was going to be clear and obvious. That's not clear and obvious. He
never gave a penalty straight away. The ball went for a corner before it got
That's
checked.
what I mean. I don't understand it. That it's clear as day. It's clear.
I think the reason he's went to the monitor is because the ref never seen it in live play, right? So what's happened is he's not seen it, so they've told him, right, Don, you've not seen that, but we've seen that. It's a handball. It's clear as day. We need you to go and have a look at that at the monitor.
But that's
obviously then replay the game, restart the game.
I can't remember exact position, right? But he wasn't too far away from it, and he's missed it. And we all seen it. It was a clear home ball.
So the boy Freeman's here. Robertson's on that side, and his horn's at the other side, if that makes sense. So he's not seen it. And I said that to my dad yesterday. I went, he's not seen that. Because my dad was wondering, as soon as Jota hits that ball, you see Jota's reaction. I always try and gauge it, Ryan. The immediate player's reaction. But right away, you seen Robertson going, oh, right, something's happened. But like I says to him, mate, he's quite clear in his instruction. You can see him maybe saying to him, I didn't see that there, but look, and he's doing that to his earpiece. We are checking it. So calm down. They were all shouting.
Obviously, the big topic that myself and I think me and you have got split opinions on it, a lot of people get split opinions on it, was the penalty we got and didn't get.
That was the right decision for me.
For me, I'm the opposite of you. It wasn't really to do with the goalie, because the goalie has got the ball, but then with his left horn, he's basically haymakered Kyogo. The defenders push Kyogo into the goalkeeper. He's sideways. He can't win the ball. So it's just a my interpretation. He's impeded, so it's a penalty. If that's two players in the middle of the park, it's a foul.
I don't even think there's a foul in them. I don't even think there's a foul in among it, Ryan. And the reason I don't think there's a foul in among it is the way Kyogo's looking at the ball and he's kind of running. He's kind of running his back to the goalie. The defender's kind of doing that to kind of sort of balance himself, right? So, and that's just the way I'm seeing it. So when Kyogo kind of does a wee kind of, he tries to kind of like semi-jump, but by that point the goalie's come out of the tap, won the ball. But initially seeing live play, right, I was screaming on there for that. That's a penalty. No, that's... and then the ref gave the penalty and I thought, yes. But then see when I seen it back, I went, it's not a penalty. The goalie, the foul wasn't, in my opinion, there's no foul. What's happened is momentum is taking Kyogo and the Dundee United defender, I think it was a boy Smith, wasn't it? Takes it to him towards the goalie, but the goalie's come out of the tap. And the goalie hits the ball before there's any connection between him and Kyogo. It's just unfortunate. Kyogo's he probably had a wee bit of a sore nut after it. But it's just unfortunate because that's part and parcel of when you go that close to the goalie. Bearing in mind the goalie is allowed to use his hands. So the goalie therefore is going to come out. And even going back years ago, Ryan, goalies used to come out with their knees up, mate. So could you picture he done something like that? Because we Kyogo, they probably ended up in the Royal last night.
I think the reason we're all getting hyped about which penalties and which free kicks and which no is because of what's been happening. See, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, I'm not saying that's anywhere near a foul, by the way. But see the way football's gone now. I'm like, we'll see if that's the middle of the park with that push.
Yeah.
They're getting these silly fouls. One thing that I really couldn't believe he gave yesterday was in the middle of the park, and Hatate didn't even touch the boy, and he gave a free kick. What if that led to a goal? Do you know, there's things like that that really annoy me. Hatate was near near the boy slipped to the ball, and he's gave a. But he's right. This is what I'm talking about with the referees.
But again, the refs, you've got to remember, the refs got to see that. He's seen it from one angle, and the refs only, apart from VAR, Ryan, the refs only get one view the way we all have.
But
I actually thought that Hatate clipped his heel to have seen it again. It's mental how people can interpret. It's mental how people can interpret what they see differently, because initially I was getting up to go and get myself a drink, and I thought, oh, Hatate, what are you doing? I thought he'd caught him, and then when I seen it back, I went, no, the boys fell out of the ball. But again, mate, these silly things like that are something I would go, right. But with the VAR, in my opinion, and what I says to you, all the boys in the group chat was, I think a wee bit of credit. And James is obviously, he's come in and he said more or less what I said yesterday. So James reckons the ref got both decisions right. The VAR backup worked well for one, so credit where it's due. James, to be fair with you, mate, I actually says that to all the boys yesterday. I actually thought, personally, the ref made the right decision. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I was buzzing when the ref instantaneously went, right, penalty. Because bearing in mind, guys, see if we didn't have VAR, we got that as a penalty, the one on Kyogo, but we weren't getting the handball because the play had went on. So it's mental how things kind of work itself out in a way that, you know. But I'm kind of one for, like, I know we've been, right, up till recently, we've been shafted and we've hardly had any sort of decisions go for us in terms of the VAR. But the last couple of games, mate, and I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Big Ange maybe sent the boys into the doors or something like that, or the referees at night or something like that, and he's got the Australian mafia there, and they've come out and had a wee think and had a wee word with some of the boys. But the last couple of games, we've had penalties. The penalty against Morton, when we saw that line, we were like, that's not a penalty. The one that happened after that, where Big Effie falls and puts his arm out to save the ball, that's more a penalty than what it was the one the ref gave a penalty for, in my opinion. So it's mental how these things work itself out, right? But I don't want to really dwell on the VAR, because VAR is kind of, like I say, in my opinion, it's kind of shafted us for it's came in. I did say to you it wouldn't always happen like that as well. It just maybe felt like that for the first wee while because things were happening, and there was a start the other week there that was like Celtic have had either a penalty given against them, a goal because of VAR disallowed, or a penalty gave against them since VAR came in. Obviously that's different now because the last couple of games now we've had penalties. So, like I say, it will even itself up. There'll be decisions down the line, mate, where we all go, how's that no? And we don't get it. Like similar to the James Forrest, the handball at Tynecastle. There'll be decisions further down the line, but there'll be decisions like yesterday, where he goes to the monitor and he comes back and he says, right, aye, penalty, and we get it. So
there was only another one that I remember. I can't remember it in play. It's only when I look back, I think I sent you today, the one with Kyle gets pulled back in the box. That's a penalty, in my opinion. But I didn't see it in play.
Is that the one that's kind of, I think it's a corner to Celtic, and the boy puts his arm across.
And he pulls Kyle go back. I didn't see that in play. But
no, neither did I.
It's clear as day Stonewall penalty. But I didn't see it in play.
But Kyogo is that type of guy, mate, that he probably moves 100 mile an hour off the ball that we don't see. But look at that one yesterday, the goalie's dilly-dallying and the wee man sprints.
Brilliant.
He's going to catch. He is going to catch a goalie on the hop with that one day. and it's going to come off his heel or come off his leg and it's going to be a goal. He will catch, because see the goalies, if you look at all the goalies, right, they're all big guys like Joe Lewis, even the big boy, is it Kayla Russ? That Dundee United goalie, Baragiti's quite a tall guy. Marshall's not exactly a slouch. You've got Xander Clark's not exactly a wee guy. Craig Gordon's not a wee guy. There's quite a lot of big goalkeepers in the Scottish game, right? In my opinion, see the bigger the goalie is, unless you're Manuel Neuer or you're really good with the ball at your feet, you tend to be a bit slower than the wee guys like Barthez or who's the wee guy that's went to Dortmund? The Swiss goalie.
Oh.
He was a Mönchengladbach goalie.
Hans Sommer. Is that it?
Sommer, aye, Sommer. Amazing with the ball at his feet, by the way. Totally amazing. But see, the weird guys, they all seem to be really good and nimble and agile, whereas the bigger guys seem to be a lot slower, like Joe Hart and like dilly-dally now and again. You get caught. Kyogo's going to catch one of them on the hop one day, and it's going to be costly for the other team. I'm just hoping it happens in the cup final.
No.
I hope it's League One John it does it or not. He's another one. He dilly-dally. He's already done it this season. Look, the one he gave to, here you go, to Turnbull. Here you go, son. Stick that away.
But I think obviously we don't want to spend too much time with referees, but obviously we all know behind the Ibrox. We don't see it live, but we've obviously seen. I'm not going to say much about it, mate.
This man here.
Yes, it's just ridiculous, mate. It's ridiculous. You've got referees now saying that he's going to hang his whistle up, which I think that's a bit disrespectful. I think that's a bit much, but when you look back again,
was that a former referee? That says that.
Des Roach, I think his name was.
Oh, right.
Says it. I'm only seeing the article from it. I didn't see a Rangers game, obviously, because I don't watch them every week, so I didn't see it. But you see bits of it on Twitter, social media, like we all day, mate.
No, the penalty they got was a shambles, and so was the Nicky Clark sending off. I know. I'm glad that they've rescinded. They've appealed to get that rescinded, because
if
that was a total shambles. And then the Ryan Jack challenge is only a yellow card. How is that justifiable?
Mate, Nicky Clark one's borderline leaving a booting. He's got the ball first. See, this is what I want to get across to people.
What's he supposed to do? Because his momentum's on he's falling as he hits the ball away. So
see all this about the follow through, right? See, if you've got the ball first, of course you're going to follow through somebody. What you meant today, just go, hit the ball, I'm just going to stop. It's impossible for you to stop your momentum.
Aye.
You can't just stop. See, if you're going for a tackle and you get the ball, you don't just stop. Of course you're going to follow through. But because you follow through, that's not a penalty. See that about 20 years ago? Even gone further, JP, 40, 50 years ago. That'd be an amazing tackle. Brilliant, go to the ball, get up, play on. But see,
my dad had been proud of that back in the day.
But see, now it's, my knee, I want a tuba grip, I'm sore, I want a rub, I want a magic sponge. Use an athletes. Use a professional athletes.
You went in Mrs. Big coming.
Oh, Mrs. Big. But they are.
My knee. Where's my stick? You didn't come in here with a stick. I did. Aye. About 2 feet tall. He's made an L and he's got it.
Brilliant. But this is what I'm saying, right? I just can't understand how people think that should be a red card. Like, listen, this isn't me talking Celtic hat or whatever. I'm just trying to look at this when I seen it, and I'm thinking, did he get a red for that? And I'm like, no, come on, man. This is where they've got to come to an agreement as referees. What's a foul? What's a red? And what is it? You get to decide now, because you're getting a yellow card for something that's not even a foul. You're getting reds for stuff that maybe it's totally getting mixed up now. Like, decisions every week are all different.
What baffles me, Ryan, sorry to cut in, but see the Ryan Jack challenge, they went to the monitor for that and still gave a yellow card. And still gave a yellow card. Now, no wonder, right, you've got new managers coming out and slaughtering them, because it's unlike him, right? Callum Davidson's probably one of the quietest guys ever. But I think a lot of people have just had enough, because it seems to be one rule for, and that, by the way, if fans on the other side are seeing this or whatever, I don't care what they say, right? It just appears that it's one rule for one team and a certain different rules for other teams. And it seems to be any time they're at home, nothing is ever gave against them, or, you know, because it might upset certain individuals, or it might, you know, prompt another statement, or it might prompt another Ian Beale press conference to give him another platform to keep talking. And like the way, you know, like I say, we've been gone over a year now. He's done, there he's there, he's done more talking in a couple of months than we've done in a full year. And me and you love a gab, mate. But he, honestly, and like I said to you before, some of the stuff he says isn't true, and the other half's hard to believe. So, but it just seems to be one rule for them and different rules for other people. And I think now we're seeing other managers and other teams starting to get fed up with it now. There was the other week there, you seen a headline, I think it was for Aberdeen, and they've put in a complaint in terms of the way, you know, things are being dealt with, the way it was at the game at Pittodrie, where they get out of jail and won 3-2 when they were 2-1 down. That was criminal, by the way. I still can't tell that result. In my opinion, if Aberdeen would have took 3 points that night, Aberdeen's momentum wouldn't have went as bad as what it did, and Jim Goodwin would probably still be in the job now. I think they would have kicked on and the results would have went positively for them. It just, we've spoke about it before, Ryan, it just shows you moments in time and moments in games can
small
change.
Margins.
Can change a mentality throughout your squad. Give you confidence when you're winning, but if you don't win and you don't hang on to that result, then it can work negatively against you. So, but I think other teams now are starting to get fed up. Other teams now are starting to see, you know, what's going on. And it's clear as day. It's not as if it's, you could go, right, okay, if it's one or two decisions. But no, when it's every other game. And it seems to be the same folk all the time. You know, it's always Ryan Jack. There's a few challenges now he's got away with. I think it was a wee video compelled. I don't know who it was, the magician it was on Twitter that actually compelled the wee video, but it was like a few of his challenges relating back to just the last couple of seasons. Some of them haven't even been yellow cards, and they were worse than the one on Saturday. The one on Stevie May when he gets sent off, that was unbelievable. And that wasn't just, you know, that's not the first time he's done it. But when he makes a challenge as well, St Johnstone are in their own half. Mm-hmm. They're defending. Because it was a boy Cantwell that backheels the ball. And the defender just gets to the ball before Jack, and Jack just decides to clean him up. Shocking. But to deem Nicky Clark's a red card, to then deem that a yellow card, it's got, I mean, what other explanation is there? Like, if you're asking a referee to come out and explain himself for his decision making, bearing in mind that he went to the monitor. He went to that monitor. So what other explanation is there apart from, nah, I'm just being biased?
I don't know how many
guys. What other explanation is it?
I don't know how many guys in this VR room. Is it just one guy? I don't really know how many there is.
I think it's, see that sketch for Tune of Fat where they're all carrying on in the control tower. I think that's what they're doing. They've got to be. What
for me,
are they doing in there?
I don't know exactly how many's in this bit where it's getting held. Right? I don't know how many, if it's 3 guys or is it 4 or whatever it is, right? But it's when to do 4, or just say it's 3 guys, right? I don't know how much. I just say it's whoever it is on. Just say it was Don Robertson. I know it wasn't. Just say it was Don Robertson in VR and 2 other guys to help him in this, whatever it is, right? The referee don't know what it is. Wally Collins doesn't know what it is. The 2 linesmen are like, I don't know. 4th officials like, I don't know either. So what is it then? All you must know something. It's I'm glad. I don't like using it word cheating, mate. I don't like using it. I really don't, because I don't think they go to do it.
But this isn't the first time with Wally Collins, because he was a VAR at the Glasgow Derby the last game. But
But
and the Connor Goldson,
aye, oh, that's
world-class Manuel Neuer save in the middle of the box. And he doesn't tell John Beaton to go to the monitor.
It does look now that it's one-sided. Let's be fair. I'm going to just put it there. I'm not going to just hide my thoughts.
It's not that it does look. It's exactly what we can see. Everybody can see it.
I think, like you say, JP, other managers and other teams are now waking up to it. But why is it took VAR to come in for people to go, oh, aye, this isn't right?
Because we are technology, and you can be found out. Cameras don't lie, mate. Evidence doesn't lie with a camera.
See just own referees' performances, right? In the years. How have they just noticed it now? But the referees have been poor for years. It's not like it's just happening.
There's a comment for James.
I've seen it, aye.
The VAR shows Teletubbies when the refs are at the monitor. I'm not really too sure, James, if it's Teletubbies or maybe, I don't know, Hey Dougie or...
Mr. Blobby.
Maybe Mr. Blobby or an episode of Paddington Bear, but they seem to be there for a wee while watching some of it, so I've no idea what it is they're watching.
I'm just glad that other teams are now waking up to it, because I think they're realising now that when it's nothing each or they get a goal or they're under pressure, there's always something happening.
Always, mate.
And this isn't just me and you talk about this, mate. It's not just Celtic fans. This is why I know we know what they want to call paranoid, right? It's no paranoid. It's looking at what you're seeing and saying, no, that's getting beyond a joke now. It's
you can't make it up.
It's not just Celtic fans, mate. Johnstone fans, Aberdeen, but it's not just at Celtic. It's not just at Rangers games. I know bad the referees are doing this. Even in the St Mirren and Motherwell games, they're making silly decisions and then they're going to VR and going, oh, I missed that. When it's the clear as day, I can totally understand if a referee doesn't see it and he goes to the monitor and goes, oh, do you know, I didn't see that, right? Thanks for letting me know. Now I can get it. But sometimes they're getting it. Now, bear in mind, I know you're a bit away from me, right? But just me and you are close up in this scene now. Me and you on this together. Right, free kick. Oh, I better go and check the monitor now. Oh, that wasn't a free kick. I got that wrong. But you're looking at it. I'm not going to swear, but you're looking at it. You're watching it, and you're deciding from your opinion that is a foul or a penalty or whatever it is. So why do you then need to go and question yourself? I know that's what the technology's there for, right? I get that. But then the referee is in question because he's given an decision when he's looking at it, and he's going to get told by other people, you've made a boss of that. Now you need to go and change your decision.
My interpretation of how the VAR control room should work is just say it's Don Robertson, it's the ref, right? He's missed a handball yesterday, and I'm on the VAR. I'd be on the, like, obviously, I'm assuming it's headsets because he had one on yesterday, didn't he? So I would be saying to him, Don, listen, the angle you were standing at, I can understand if you've missed a handball, or if he's related back to the VAR control to say, look, I've missed it. Is there something happened there? Because they're all shouting for a handball. Or whatever it was he says. The way a conversation, the way I interpret it, and the way it probably should happen, in my opinion, is, Don, there's a clear handball. The Dundee United player, Freeman, puts his hand out. It's not in a natural position. It's in an unnatural position. Puts his hand towards the ball, and more or less indicates that he saves the ball with his hand. He then pulls his hand away in fear that, oh no, what have I done? So we think you should come to the monitor, have a quick look at this, and obviously a clear penalty should be given at the end of this. In my opinion, that's the way that should happen. It shouldn't take 3 and 4 minutes to go umpty out any more. This wee piggy went to the market, this wee piggy stayed at home, this wee pig. No, none of that nonsense. I know you're laughing now, but what are they doing for 3.5 minutes, mate? I know yesterday, right, and what I will say, credit, like James says earlier, credit where credit's due. The speed of it was significantly better yesterday in terms of, right, that was a penalty. No, that wasn't a penalty. You need to go to the monitor and have a look. He went to the monitor for both decisions, and in my opinion, he got both decisions spot on after watching the technology. But the speed of it was better, and that will come on all the time. But see, they know they've got, like you says, mate, they've got 4 or 5, maybe even 6 different tellies or showing them whatever it is they need to see. So unless they're doing what they do in tune and fat and they're all sellotaping one another's eyebrows and like pulling one another's chairs away or pulling one another's headset off their head while they're trying to talk, I don't know what's going on in the control rooms. But the conversation should be, aye, that was a penalty. It's a clear handball. The man at Ibrox, Wally Collins should have been saying to John Beaton, John, listen, I think you've missed that there. Connor Golson raises his hands, handballs the ball. It's a clear penalty. You need to go to the monitor and have a look at that. That's the way that should have happened. None of this, and then he's saying to Callum McGregor, it's no done to me. It might not be done to you, but then it's done to your colleague to give you the best information you can be given, i.e. go to the monitor because there's a clear handball in this incident.
Because it's just like,
that's the way that should happen, mate.
See, like you've said there, John Beaton said it's not up to me. Well, what's the point of you refereeing the game, man?
No, it's not up to. He's probably saying it's not up to him because,
but I feel now that the VAR is basically refereeing the game. That's the way I feel now. It's taking the referee's responsibility away from him because he can make a mistake, right? I get it. He makes
that's what that's for, though, is it not?
Aye, but I get he makes a mistake and then he fixes it, right? I get that, right? But sometimes he's getting something that he sees, right? But that's a foul, right? But then he's got somebody telling him, by the way, that's not a foul. But then that's questioning the referee's ability as a referee to give decisions. If he can't give that properly, he shouldn't be refereeing. Like you say, it's the decisions.
But how would you feel if you were the team that you like say that had, just say for talking sake, that Hatate, the foul that we thought that initially I thought Hatate clipped his heels right and the boy fell out of the ball. Say for talking sake, that was a red card to Hatate and they thought that was violent conduct from behind, right? Just say for talking sake that was. Imagine that scene and we were the receiving end of that decision. Would it not be beneficial for them then to have that technology to go? Because if VAR wasn't there, Ryan, if VAR wasn't there, Hatate's sent off for that incident.
I'm no questioning what VAR does, etc. I just feel it's taking the referee's responsibility basically out of the game. The referee's no refereeing the game, to his judgment, his ability, because his ability's getting questioned.
I get that,
because he's getting a foul, right? But he deems from his refereeing ability in his eyes, like, that's a foul. And then they're going, no, you check monitor, that's not a foul. You've gave that wrong. So how many other years have they been getting wrong? This is what I'm trying to say.
Many times have we been saying it, I know, but you know what I mean? So
it's taking
and that's not just with us, by the way, that's with Dundee United, Aberdeen.
In my opinion, I feel now it's definitely highlighting how bad the referees are, but it's highlighting as well that they're basically getting judged all the time now. Like their ability is always in question now because there's times that you know yourself, JP at Celtic Park, we're sitting and you're like that. How she gave that as a foul? Like that's never in my opinion, JP, I'm being serious here. Like people, I've said it to people. I think you've said it to yourself. I've said it personally. I'll give it maybe 30 years tops. Football be a non-contact sport. It'll be a non-contact sport. Honestly, it's embarrassing. Guys are getting touched like that. Free kick. I'm like, no, every bit of contact is a foul. This is what
I'm always saying it, mate. Just because you get in doesn't mean to say it's a foul.
I'm not going to lie, right? See, if I was still playing new JP, I think I get sent off all the time. And I'm not an aggressive guy. I'm no angry. I might like a wee more on a podcast, but in terms of personal life, mate, I keep myself to myself. But see, when you go in a football park with yourself, mate, you're miserable at winning games and for your team, etc.
Yep.
See, when you see silly things at a football park, mate, I take my half of somebody's players, by the way, to keep their cool and not lose the plot because you're seeing things and going, how is that a foul? How is that a booting? How is that? How? See, if you're St Johnson play the weekend there, you must be like, are used for view. Like, are used generally for view that you've gave that as a red card. But it could be questionable even a foul. Never mind a red card.
Aye. Like I say, I'm not against VAR if it's used properly. I like it for the fact that the ref has only got one view, the same as everybody else. He can get it wrong, but now we're in a modern day and time that we have this technology available to us that you know that can no say right if you're poor at your job or you've done this, but you're only human, mate. You've made a mistake, but here we've got a chance to correct that. And like I says, it needs to be used properly. Yesterday, in my opinion, it was used spot on. It's not been a lot of the games up to now. I think the game at Aberdeen at Pittodrie, the 1-0 game when we came back straight for a World Cup, I think that's the first game for VAR's come in. We've not even had to use it.
Aye.
We never used it once, and we won it. And there wasn't the game flowed. It didn't, it wasn't broken up. It was allowed to flow. There was a couple of meaty challenges, but it wasn't like massive fouls. The ref that day just let the game go, and I think it was Nick Walsh that was the ref that day. In fact,
can't remember, mate.
And he let the game go. There was nothing. No, it wasn't. It was Stephen McLean. It wasn't. It was Stephen McLean.
If you notice as well, by the way, sorry to cut you in. If you realise that it's the same refs all the time, or no? Two teams get.
Unfortunately, Ryan, we're no blessed. We've lost quite a few refs over the last couple of years. So we've lost Craig Thompson, we've lost now Bobby Madden. He's went down to England. So we have lost refs, and they are only part time. So, but
it's just
we don't have but we've got a bigger pool than people think. So we've got Nick Walsh, John Beaton, Wally Collum, Alan Muir, Don Robertson.
Steve McLean.
Stephen McLean. There is a couple of more. There's one of the big tall guy. Hammett gave a penalty against Burnaby, and he's relatively new. There's another guy as well who's new.
Alan Crawford, see one as well.
I think he might be one. I know. Aye. So there's probably a bit more than what people think, but it must be. I mean, being a ref, like I've always said, to be a ref, you're the one that never get picked at the football trials, and you were the one that was maybe not good enough to play football professionally, and you're in a huff for the world. I've always seen that as a ref.
The referees, the wee floaters that just pass the ball at the middle of the square, isn't they?
One of the best refs I've ever been refereed with was a guy called Wallace Smith. Now, Wallace is a father. I don't know if you remember the old St Mirren goalie, big Chris Smith. Aye. Wallace was his dad,
right?
And he was a ref. Obviously, when I played, and brilliant ref, brilliant, clear with instructions, knew the game, didn't mess about, didn't take any nonsense, and you knew where you stood with him as well. So he told you before the game, listen, I'm not taking any back chat, I'm not doing this, I'm not. He knew right away. Straight away with him, and I liked that. And obviously, there's the refs like that are far and few between now, because they all hide behind the referee committee now. But in my opinion, I just think when the ref makes a decision, and if it's a game impacting decision, i.e., a decision's led to a last-minute penalty and the team's lost the game, the other team's won the game or whatever. If they get it wrong, there should be some sort of clarity in terms of where he's given an opportunity to come and explain himself, or he's at least held responsible for his actions in that actual game. I don't doubt there's a referee committee looking after the referees, and therefore, when they don't do so well, you hear all this, he's demoted, he's been put down divisions, and there's got to be, because I do know a guy that, that knows a few of the refs quite well, and he's told me the refs are graded per match.
That's right.
So somebody's watching them as well. People don't think of that aspect of it. They just see a ref and they go, oh, it's him or it's and they come up with all these suspicions before the game, and this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And there's even jokes going about, like the team across the water, we started playing penalty bingo with him now, and things are going to happen. That's what I'm saying, but I know it's a laugh and a bit of banter, but deep down, there's an underlying message here, Ryan, which is, that's what it's became now, because you kind of know what's coming. Like you says, mate, whenever they're in trouble or they're maybe no at it, they always seem to get a wee decision in my opinion, that either impacts the other team getting a man sent off, or they're gifted a penalty at the first shout of a penalty. Just because the crowd said it was, because the team have went up in arms here, Bobby Bushes fell out his own puddle of diarrhea that he's been running on, and all of a sudden there's a free kick outside the box and the ball hits off two guys' ears and hits the post, bounces off the goal at the back of the head and goes in. It seems to be that, that's a wee kind of, I know you're laughing there, mate, but that seems to be the overall thing that happens, or that is happening. And again, Ryan, that's not just, it's all right us having a bit of banter and carry on, but in reality, Ryan, we aren't far for the truth, mate, because we're only commenting on what we see. And anybody that's, going to say, oh, that doesn't happen, or, right, it might not happen to the letter of the law, what I just says earlier now, but it certainly happens, overall, folks, and in terms of the, it impacts results. And we've seen it. I mean, the last couple of games alone, David a man sent off.
Sorry.
That's all right, mate.
Sorry.
I just thought it was a full thing knackered, mate. I thought you'd had enough. And
no, we hadn't. Sorry.
I actually thought maybe one of the listeners had phoned you a taxi there, mate, and you disappeared. But no, as I was just saying there, while I was sitting myself, I was just saying that obviously what we're commenting on is what we see. It's not something that we're making up or fabricated, or it's no paranoia, as people would say. It's what's actually happening. But the refs have got a hard job, I know. I mean, it's no easy. In the height of the moment, we've all been culprit of slagging the refs and, calling them this and calling them that and, saying this and saying that about them. But in reality, they have only got one view, and I'm just glad now there's a technology that can actually let them see that, you're making mistakes, but there'll be a marking scheme that they're up against as well, a performance record. And I'd imagine, their decision making, if they get so many wrong, that'll go against them. Because then they're having to go to, there's games that they're refereeing that they have to go to VAR quite a lot of the times. That'll go against them now. Because my words are now, see, the Aberdeen game when VAR wasn't used, you ask anybody, mate, everybody would love that scenario in every game. But unfortunately, there's moments in games that change games, that can change games. And VAR, although it is impacting a game, VAR is only impacting a game because the ref, A, maybe hasn't saw the first incident, and B, the guy's maybe been offside, he scored. But if we didn't have VAR, he's offside. So, but the ref didn't see that and the goal's good. So the other team doesn't benefit for that. So it doesn't just hinder one team, it hinders every team that, the only two teams take to a field and go and play a match. So it affects every team in different ways. It's just that we feel that, there's kind of really, really silly decisions being good against us in terms of no enough common sense getting used when it comes to these certain scenarios. Like, was that going to affect the overall play, the one with Burnaby? Was it going to affect the overall play, the one with Matt O'Reilly? Because it was like twice in a few days, Matt O'Reilly was shafted. The one at the Bernabeu, I know.
Aye.
Was it a penalty? Probably in Europe now, that is a penalty, but the one with Gens, I don't think there's any complaints with that one. The big man dives in and he's left his cell in an unnatural position. But in terms of the refs, Ryan, you sometimes you can see, apart from, especially when they're at home at a big house, as I call it, you can see now that there's decisions. The refs haven't got a backbone between them in my opinion, to give a decision against them, because, like I say, it's going to prompt either them to bring out a statement, or maybe certain parts of the media will not say things about them because they're fearing in case they're banned for press conferences. But you've kind of got to say, everybody's got an opinion, and everybody's entitled to give their opinion on certain matters. And what a world it would be if we all ran away in a huff and just hit ban every time we wanted to ban people, because, well, like I said to you before, mate, I've been caught worse than that off just my dearly beloved. So, like, probably more than once a day. So if I took any of that to heart, I wouldn't get out the door. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you.
Aye.
So it's kind of, it's one of the ones, mate.
I do agree with you, mate, in terms of the referees. They're going to get things right, they're going to get things wrong, but especially, let's be fair, in recent times, mate, when it does beat Ibrox, they're getting there totally wrong. And it doesn't seem to be a coincidence. Let's be fair, no, it doesn't. You're not wanting to sit and say referees are this or referees are that, but it's sheer incompetence at most. No, sorry, at least, shall I say. And then the rest goes where. In my opinion, mate, I just don't. I know we keep saying we don't want to spend much time with it, but I believe that eventually, when you get into a tandem, these things do need to get aired. Like you said, you can only see.
Spent the last 40 minutes talking about it, mate.
But you can only hear, you can only see what you see, and then for your opinion, you need to give what your opinion is. And if it lasts 2 hours, if it lasts off for the last 10 minutes, if you need to get an opinion across, mate, and you need to get what's ironed out, then you need to say it, because not everybody gets to put your opinion across. Some people, guys don't go on podcasts, some guys don't go to the pub, guys don't really speak about it. So we don't know what people are all thinking about. Me and you I know what me and you think about it, we all know what makes people we know think about it. But now the rest of Scottish football are finally realising that there's something going on here, things aren't right. Why are we getting, it's not just, like you say, it's not just Celtic, it's not just Rangers, or no Rangers, St Johnstone, Aberdeen. It's the two teams on the park. There's two teams, not just one. So when that, to think means that may not get him that result, because of a silly decision that the referees missed, or, well, we'll say missed, he's no gave. But in my opinion, JP, as well, onto the transfer market, the window's just about nearly closing. We've heard that Jackie Marcus, the deal's just about finished. The man there. Again, we'll maybe talk about more as the week goes on, as the weeks go on, mate. But best wishes to the man. He's done amazingly, in my opinion, in terms of what he's done for Celtic. Obviously, he's maybe want to go for his family and a bit more money, which is fair enough. I can't really grudge guys for money. I can maybe grudge the ambition side of it, but if it's a personal reason, it's a financial reason for his family, then you kind of need to let the guy go with his best wishes and say, right, okay, you've served as well, you've scored very, very good goals for us, important goals for us, and you played a vital role last year getting the title back at Celtic Park, so you've got to say best wishes. Do I think guys will leave? I think you might see a flurry, maybe 2 or 3 guys maybe going on loan, or maybe guys leaving. Maybe guy I can't see personally. Maybe McCarthy, Gucci, Abelgard might go back to his parent club. Stephen Welsh, will he go? It might depend on how he feels about Kobayashi, and will he be able to step in and play for cover? I know Awata can maybe play at the back as well, so a bit of cover there. So I think maybe in the next few years, mate, the window, there might be a bit of flurry, maybe in terms of getting out, but in terms of getting in, I think it might take maybe a certain deal or a bargain deal or something that really gets Ange and Nicholson and Lawwell's just his phone to maybe get somebody else in. Apart for that, mate, I've not heard anything myself, so I can't comment. I don't really know any incomings. I can't see it personally. I know there was some chat about Tumble. Personally, when I like to be coding in January, I can't see that unless it's going to take a decent bid for a club. But how do you feel about the last part of the pod, mate, about the transfer window? But I don't really see too much happening incoming. Maybe a few getting out.
I would agree with that, mate. I think any sort of players incoming, we've only got until tomorrow at midnight, so in terms of players incoming, I think we would have maybe heard a snippet of maybe 1 or 2 by now. And no Ange, he would have probably had. I know he said the other day, I don't really want to say aye, and then it makes it a boring few days for everybody. But I think there was a message behind that to say, look, unless something unrefusable comes up, then we'll do it. But unless it's a centre back, Ryan, I don't really see where else the team needs strengthened at the moment, because he's brought in Kobayashi, Alistair Johnston, he's brought in the boy Oh Hyung-gu, and he's brought in Tomoki Iwata. I really don't see where the team needs strengthened. I know we have said already, Ryan, that potentially, we need 3 strikers. Up until it's 2 and a bit years, he's kind of went with 2 and a bit years. He's went with Giakoumakis and Kyogo, or 18 months or just over. He's went with A2. So now that he's brought in I think there's more chance of him just going with A2 than to let the big fella settle. And I really can't see him bringing in another striker. I would be really shocked, I think, if he brings in another centre forward at this stage, especially when he's just in the door and he's going to he'll take a couple of games to try and get going and settle himself. So potential, the only one I can maybe see, a position he could strengthen it. By the way, I don't know anything, so anybody that, what does JP know here? If anybody thinks that for a second, I don't. But maybe a number 10 to kind of give O'Reilly and Moy a wee bit of hand. Maybe a number 10. I've not included Hatate there because Hatate's like a number 8. He doesn't really play like a number 10. That's about the only sort of creative spark just behind the striker is where I potentially could see if he's going to bring somebody in, that it would be that. By the way, I mean, it's not tomorrow yet. He could totally shock us and, bring 1 or 2 in. But I think coming in the door, I think it's highly doubtful, unless it's something that is unrefusable. In terms of going out, you could probably take a pick now. You've got the usual suspects here. You've mentioned them. Welsh, Hidaguchi, McCarthy, Abelgard. I know there's been loads of chat about it. There's some sources have said that, like teams like West Ham and that have been snuffing about. But the thing with David Turnbull doesn't seem to be going away as well. Potentially Celtic cashing in Turnbull. In all honesty, in our midfield, he's the one I would probably sell. He's the one I would say, right, we could sell him, bring somebody else in, and it wouldn't hinder the team. I don't think Turnbull, I think the tempo is just too high for him. He looks good in certain games, but in then other games, like, I didn't think he affected the game positively yesterday, Ryan. I actually didn't think Matt O'Reilly affected the game the way I thought he would have yesterday when he came on. It may be just the way the game went yesterday in that moment. But in terms of, I think there'll be more outgoing than what there will be coming in. Lindsay's asking, why could we not have kept Giakoumakis? He's obviously been pushing it, Lindsay, from his side, pal. Thanks for commenting, Lindsay, as well. But Giakoumakis, it obviously is clearly, the urge to get out the doors coming for his end. It's certainly not been for Ange or Celtic trying to get him out the door. A bit similar to Juranovic. Don't know if his head's turned because his former agent, when his agent went public during the World Cup about, he's not signing a new deal, this has kind of blew up since then. And it's done something that I didn't want it to do, Ryan, and it's created a wee bit of a side circus, similar to when Big Pierre was leaving. At the time he left, if anybody remembers that, it was a bit of shenanigans that went on for a wee while. Is he gone? Is he no? Is he, and sometimes that can affect the dressing room. I don't know necessarily Giakoumakis has, because we're still winning. And I think this isn't, by the way, because he's leaving. If you go back a few, way before he was linked to gone, I've said even back in the podcast that, in my opinion, I don't think he's one of the main men of the team. But if you ask a Celtic fan who they think the main men of the team are, in my opinion, they'll probably rhyme off Carter Vickers, Joe Hart, maybe even McGregor, Kyogo, Jota, Abada, Haskabanovic, some people would say, Hatate, O'Reilly. They're all names that would probably be flung into the hat way before Giakoumakis. And just fortunately this season, Kyogo's been on great form, that Kyogo's made it so hard that not to drop him. And therefore, I think Giakoumakis became frustrated, but then B, also, he said his head turned with maybe his agent in his ear saying, look, you could maybe do this, and if Celtic aren't willing to do it. But Ange isn't the type of guy you try and negotiate that kind of stuff with, because he'll give you an offer, and if you don't accept his offer, then I'm afraid there's only one winner, and you'll be moving on to pastures new. And I think he showed his proactiveness there in terms of going and getting Oh Hyung-Gu and Alistair Johnson for the two positions that the two boys have now. Well, it looks like Giakoumakis is going to depart us now. So, but Juranovic, there was talk of that for a while happening as well, and he already replaced him with Alistair Johnson. Me personally, I don't think Giakoumakis is going to be a big miss as everybody thinks, because he's already in the team they knew, and the team are still, I don't want to say flying, but we're still creating loads of chances, and there's goals coming from everywhere. So I don't think Giakoumakis is going to be a big miss as everybody, I've seen people predicting he's going to be a big miss. He's a big, he's an asset because his physicality, his one-touch finishes, etc. But there's more to the team than being able to just bring the attributes. Kyogo does everything for the top end of the pitch, and that's why Kyogo plays more often than Giakoumakis does. But no, I think that the push has been coming for Giakoumakis. In terms of outgoings, I think there'll be more outgoings than what there will be coming in right now. I think I will be shocked tomorrow if we actually sign another player. I think the business potentially of incomings is possibly done for this window, mate.
I think I would agree in terms of incomings, mate. I'd be surprised myself, mate, if I woke up on Wednesday morning or seen there's a deal completed or Wednesday night, Tuesday night, sorry, when it's finished, that we've signed somebody. I'd be surprised. But I do agree with Lindsay in a sense. She's put a comment as well. Lindsay says, why couldn't we have kept Gigi? Wrong comment, sorry. Lindsay says, I'm so gutted about him going. I'm kind of a bit gutted myself, Lindsay, in terms of, because I did like him. I did rate him as a player. He's a goal scorer, and goal scorers are hard to come by. Celtic have been lucky in a sense, but we've always had goal scorers. But in general terms, goal scorers can be hard to buy, especially for decent value. Lucky enough under Ange, especially Ange, with Giakoumakis, Kyogo, we've had decent strikers for good value. We can't really comment on him too much. He did look okay when he came on, looked quite stocky, strong, sharp. So again, like me and JP spoke about as well, personally, he will need time to adjust a wee bit, probably time to get into the team, and then you can judge him maybe after 10 games or 12 games. You can't judge a guy here 2 or 3 games. You can always sense that he's got something, but you can't really judge a guy on a few games. Like Aaron Boy, I call him the Boo Boys. Some of the Boo Boys didn't like him, what we signing him for, and then now they're saying, oh, Aaron Boy's the best thing ever, and they're loving him now. So just shows how football can change. Like me and you said, JP, point at times, mate, football's very, very... it can change from 2 minutes. 1 minute, me and you can be saying, this guy's terrible, like me with Greg Taylor, no good enough, and then, boom, he's one of your best players in the team. So
I think as well, Ryan, I know people are saying Giakoumakis, it's the same all the time. People are saying he's a goal scorer, but in terms of this Ange Postecoglou Celtic team, mate, you need to do a wee bit more than just put the ball in the net.
Oh, I agree. I think
and in terms of your running intensity, the way you are off the ball, when we've not got the ball, you're chasing the ball, you're making... when you start with Giakoumakis, it's not that he's a bad player. You've got to set up with a mid-press right away. You can't, against Real Madrid at Celtic Park, we couldn't press them high because, he's just no physically as fast as Maeda or Kyogo. So to play that sort of higher tempo and press for the 9, you need to have the two playing if that's the way you want to play. And Kyogo just orchestrates everything for the front end, in my opinion, Ryan. That's why he plays that's why Ange made him his first signing. Ange knew what he was signing. He knew he could play that in that sort of, and he's got the engine to sustain it over a period of time. Giakoumakis, don't get me wrong, he's a kind of penalty box type of striker. He'll get in defenders' faces, he'll make it harder for defenders, he'll rough people up, but there's more to Ange's team than just being able to be physical. Hatati's physical, but he's physical in a way it then allows him to be technical. Giakoumakis probably isn't the best technically either. So there's loads of reasons, in my opinion, as to why he wasn't a regular starter with us as well. One of them was the fact that he's not as pacey as Kyogo. He can't press for the front. He can press, but it's not as quick. And you need to then sit with the mid, because if you don't, you leave yourself open, because the defenders, like see your centre-halves, the modern-day centre-halves that like to pick passes, they just play on about that because he's not as fast, so he's not going to be able to shut down space within a period of time. Whereas if you're playing, you watch us against, like, them across the water, right? Their bottle goes when they see Kyogo and Maeda in the same team, because they know Tav can't then step forward. Connor Goldson can only step forward to the half, and then he's got to drop, because if he doesn't, he then gets caught out. And you've seen, obviously, Morelos getting the ball away at Ibrox, and you see the speedy Maeda. Giakoumakis can't do that. He's then not got the pace then to take himself away for the defender. So that then, to play the Ange way, in my opinion, leaves a big problem. Now, within 30 seconds, you could tell this boy O's got a bit of pace. You can see he was strong. You can see he's got a bit of pace, and you can also see that he's able to turn on a half turn with the ball. Similar to Edward, you don't need to be a brain surgeon to work that out. You can see that. You can see he's technically got ability. And we've only seen about 8 minutes of him playing in the team. So already that's a difference between him and Giakoumakis straight away. Giakoumakis needs 1 and 2 touches before the ball is under control. And that's a problem to play the Ange way. He's been a good servant. I'm not saying he's not. I wish the big man all the best. I really, really do. Maybe he'll go to a team and he'll find that he'll get a game every week, because they'll play to a player like Giakoumakis. You need to play to his strength. Yep. Celtic play that way. No, we don't. No, over a period of time we don't. Maybe in certain games, because sometimes it needs to be horses for courses, in my opinion. But overall, 9 times out of 10, Celtic play a front press and they play by hunting in packs. You can't do that with Giakoumakis because he's just not naturally fast.
No,
and you need to do more than just score goals, right?
No, I agree, mate. Not just Angie's system, mate. In any football team, now you need to do more than just score goals. I don't know if that's why. Again, I could be talking with my bum here, but I think that's how maybe Haaland gets a tiny wee bit of stick, because on Man City changing to suit him because he's a goal scorer. Because I don't think people down south, again, I don't see Haaland a lot, so, but some people say that all does score goals. But I'm like, well, me as a striker, I'm thinking, well, that is your main job, but depending on the team, but you still need to do your link-up play, your hold-up play, you need to do a lot more than that. You need to press for the front now, like you say, JP, teams like Celtic, Man City, the way they play, you need to press, so you're striking.
Look at Haaland, right? He's a goal scorer. But there's certain games he'll not play him in because he needs more than just a goal scorer.
It's Celtic.
He needs a floater as well. He needs to sort of play in that sort of. And sometimes if a big man's either not on it or he's not in that sort of mindset, he'll take him out of the team.
in my opinion, in terms of as a striker, even just the way I played, I think it's the way Jans plays. You're the first defender. You defend for the front. You need to defend for the front. If that means pressing, if it means you're out wide to stop the bog down the channel. Because what annoys me with football teams, that annoyed me when I played. See, when you've got, it's different when you've got two, when you're one striker. See, when you get two strikers and the goalie's able to pass the ball out wide and start attacks, that flies man up. I don't like it. I'm like, use two strikers, stop that happening, because then they can't play for the back. And it's the way Celtic play that, because I've got three strikers basically. Jota, Maeda, whoever it is, Abada. You're basically playing a front three. But when you defend, it's Kyle go up himself, and then they two are starting back. But I agree with you, mate, Jack and Marcus. It's always going to split opinion, mate. Like I say, this is why we like football. We've all got opinions, mate. I was going to end it, but it's a wee quick round up, mate, within about 2 minutes. A wee round up on Livy at Celtic Park, mate. It will be a hard game because we know how Hasbro likes to play his football against us. They'll maybe try and get a counter attack if they can, but you know they're just going to try and defend for life, park the bus, and try and get a sniff if they can. Similar to the last game at Celtic Park, I think it was 2-0 as well, or 2-1, sorry. It was a bit stuffy, but again we broke them down and then we done it with ease, mate. I'd like to think it'd be the same.
Aye, well, you kind of heard a wee bit of him today. He was when he done his interview in PLZ, and he says, "Am I going to go to Celtic and open up and play free-flowing football?" And I had a wee chuckle because I thought to myself, no many teams will do that in Scotland because you naturally do not have the manpower to come and try that, because you'll just get picked off and whacked about 18-0 if you do. So no, I would imagine he's going to come and he's going to, you know, I heard the day I know it, they've got Big Joe Newbley back as well. So we'll probably stick him at Parkhead Cross and try and lump Buzz up to him down at Jane Field Street, and hopefully he gets on the end of one or two. But I'm expecting, I don't know, I'm expecting a Celtic victory again. We're at home, so we've got the tools, Ryan. Like I said to you before, mate, we've now got an array of firepower. You know, we've got a lot of answers in my team now, mate, a lot of firepower. And we've got different kind of boys in there that can, you know, you've got Maeda that can run in behind, Kyogo can run in behind, you've got Big O who can obviously play, he's technical, he can get the ball down, and you've got Hatate can hit a ball for distance, Turnbull can hit a ball for distance. Matt really tries shots, but they don't even make a 6-yard box, and he's only hit it for 18-yard line. I don't even know why he doesn't put enough power on them, but it just seems to be the ball trickles back to the goalie.
It's like a pass back, isn't it?
That's what it's like, aye. You've got Abada who's got that killer instinct, mate. He knows he can sense danger. So, like I says, mate, and you've got Haskabanovic, I know, likes a wee sexy dancer too that can, you know, come through people. You've got Greg Taylor looking for passes through the eye of needle like Kaka. So, no, as I say, mate, we've got a lot of firepower, a lot of answers there that can, and we've got a threat now in terms of physicality with Alistair Johnson, and you've got the option of bringing a Water into the team to play him beside McGregor, give him a bit of protection, put McGregor higher. You've got a lot of options, mate, that you just look at our bench now, Ryan. Our bench are all starters, mate, every one of them. Like, when you're bringing 5 subs on, like, the guys that all came on yesterday could all have started the game easily. So that's where Celtic are now compared to the rest of the teams. Do I think they'll do anything? No, I think they'll try and frustrate us and try and, you know, make it harder for us. But if we move the ball at speed and tempo the way we do, then I think there's only going to be one outcome.
No, so I can agree, mate. I think you've got to look at obviously us winning. We've got the best players, best squad. You've got to get into it, obviously respect every opposition as every game you go into, but
yep,
you've got to obviously be confident get into the game that you're going to win the game and come out the game. Hopefully the same -9, and you're kind of hoping that maybe Hearts will do something. But that's obviously no really in our thinking, mate, I just really hope about us getting 3 points and we take it
Better
from there.
not say too much, we'll end up on another podcast again.
I know.
But
I'd like to think we'll win, mate. I think we'll win comfortably, but I'm not going to sit here and shout score lines because I've said it in the past and it's not happened on our podcast, mate. So we'll just keep us a Celtic win and Hasbell will go home empty-handed. But again, please, if you like the content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You just click the wee red subscribe button, and when we go live, any short videos or lives or wee videos, you'll get a notification. If you don't know how to set it up, just set a wee Google account, get a wee password of your choice and an email, and that's you sorted. Again, me and JP are on Twitter as well. We're on Instagram. The page is on Twitter and Facebook as well. You can get me and JP on all the social platforms as well. Also, we're on TikTok.
I've just put up our Twitter handles there for everybody that maybe doesn't know it already.
We're also on TikTok for wee snazzy videos. Again, if that's a place where you go, you can also contact us on that, because I know some people aren't on social media, i.e. Facebook, etc. So we're also on a wee community bit on YouTube, which will update regularly. So if you need to get a wee chat with us as well, just comment on the community bit if you want more information. Anything else?
First and foremost, just before we go, I'd just like to thank everybody that's took the time to watch us tonight. And I know obviously it can't be easy listening to me and Andy Gray here rabbling on, but we thank everybody that watches us and gives us their time, because if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to keep doing this. And obviously, me and Ryan, like I said earlier, we like to have a gab. So thanks very much, guys, for everybody that's tuned in and decided to comment in as well. Because it's nice to hear other people's opinions as well. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if that involves what me and Ryan are discussing, or whoever's on here is discussing, then it's good to hear other people to give us a kind of sanity check, as I would like to say. I know that's going to be very hard on here, especially for me anyway. I'm at that age now where I think you just stop worrying about your own sanity now, you know what I mean, and start worrying about everybody else's. But no, as I say, thanks very much, guys. We totally appreciate everything. We'll be back again later in the week with a goal rush as well this week. So I'll see you all then. But Ryan, if there's anything else you want to add, feel free, mate.
No, again, thanks for the comments as well. It's much appreciated, because we like a debate. As it's shown tonight, me and JP don't always agree. Mostly we do. But sometimes when the referees involved, we like to get heated. I know sometimes we can rabble on about the referees, but we just feel sometimes it's got to be ironed out. It won't be like this every podcast, but there's sometimes where it needs to get mentioned because it's just got to be. And I feel that if we don't do it, then I feel sometimes it doesn't get aired. And I think sometimes when you do put it up, then other people obviously see it and it gets the people talking. But again, I really appreciate the comments, guys, and the listen. I know it's a bit late in the night as well, so you just want to get on Netflix and chill and have a cup of tea and instead of listening to me and JP talking. But again, thanks, hail, and hopefully celebrate 3 points on Wednesday.
That's it. Cheers, guys. Thank you. Hail. Thank you.
You look as if you have just come straight away for the Green Brigade.
Aye, we'd have meeting at 6:30, mate.